I am not the senator for just Democrats in Pennsylvania. I'm everyone's senator in Pennsylvania. And so it's just having a conversation with the president.
Buckle up, because the clash between U.S. Senator John Fetterman and The View's Sunny Hostin has escalated into a full-blown legal showdown. That's right, Fetterman is suing Hostin and the producers of The View. It all began with a fiery comment made during a recent episode of the talk show, known for its unfiltered debates. The controversy erupted when Hostin criticized Fetterman over his recent visit to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, a venue that's synonymous with political controversy. Fetterman's trip to Mar-a-Lago quickly became a topic of national debate. For some, it raised questions, while for others, it represented a potential step toward bipartisan collaboration.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, I can say this. We need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something.
He became the first Democrat to reportedly meet with Trump at his resort, a move interpreted by some as a gesture toward bridging divisions in a deeply polarized political climate. However, many, particularly within his own party, saw it as an act of betrayal, accusing him of consorting with the opposition. On The View, Sunny Hostin quickly criticized the meeting, condemning it as a misstep and portraying him as disloyal to his party. Her sharp remarks questioned his motives, suggesting the visit was far from innocent.
In a new Netflix documentary series about New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, he said he's heartbroken about friends and family cutting him off for his controversial political views and conspiracy theories. And a lot of Americans can relate to this, especially after this last election. So, do you think it happens everywhere?
What I recall about him is when he was asked about the COVID-19 pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, when people had lost loved ones, when people's family members were missing from their Thanksgiving table, like my table, he said, "I'm immunized." And as it turns out, he was not. He had done his own research. He has his Google MD like I do. And I think he said he was allergic to something in the vaccine, but he had COVID and he was in a huddle with his teammates. Yeah. And I think people felt like, wow, you don't care. You're not your brother's keeper.
This could really, this could really turn me against
a morality.
Are you telling me that?
Fetterman pushed back strongly, emphasizing that his visit wasn't about choosing sides, but about fostering common ground and seeking opportunities for cooperation. He argued that bipartisan collaboration is essential for addressing real issues, drawing inspiration from historical figures like Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, who managed to work together despite their ideological differences. Fetterman saw himself following their example. However, Hostin's portrayal of the visit suggested he was betraying his roots by appearing alongside someone like Trump in such a polarized climate. This interpretation struck a nerve. Hostin's remarks felt like more than criticism. They came across to Fetterman as a personal attack on his character. To him, her comments were divisive and misrepresented his intentions, painting them in an unfair and misleading way.
Senator, many of Trump's...
Since Trump's win, there's been a lot of soul-searching on the Democratic side, people needing answers on what went wrong. Do you think that is helpful, and do you think there should also be some soul-searching on the Republican side who need to analyze why they would nominate a convicted felon who ran on lies, threats of retribution, and concepts of a plan?
I haven't spent any of my time after the election freaking out or just, thinking about, here's where we are. And I would like to remind everybody that that's the way democracy works.
John Fetterman has had enough. He's taken legal action, filing a lawsuit against Sunny Hostin and the producers of The View over her controversial remarks. This is no longer just about television commentary. It's a broader challenge to the unchecked political rhetoric often seen in the media. Fetterman's lawsuit carries significant weight. In an era of heightened political divisions, it highlights the real-world impact of harmful language in public discourse. His message is clear: reckless accusations come with consequences. The case raises critical questions. Can Hostin and the producers of The View defend their remarks under the umbrella of free speech, or will they be held accountable for potentially damaging allegations? The outcome could set a precedent for how media outlets are held responsible for their statements. Fetterman is making it clear that this isn't just about personal grievances. He argues that Hostin's comments were part of a calculated attempt to undermine his credibility, and he's determined to fight back. The stakes are high, and this legal battle could reshape expectations for accountability in media commentary.
They'll say that about the J6 people too, though, right? That's what they're going to say on the other side. That is weaponized also.
I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about the New York trial, and now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful, calling it like now he's a convicted felon and those things, and now for our party we were talking about criminal justice, and we are now talking about second chances, and now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's a convicted felon and all these things. And now clearly, again, both of those trials, the Hunter Biden one and the trial in New York for Trump, that was politically motivated, and those kinds of charges would have never been brought unless one side could realize that they could weaponize that.
In today's hyper-scrutinized political landscape, Hostin's remarks misrepresented Fetterman's intentions, framing his bipartisan efforts as calculated political maneuvering with Donald Trump, driven by ulterior motives. For Fetterman, this wasn't a mere oversight. It was a direct attack on his integrity and his commitment to fostering cross-party cooperation. This isn't just a minor disagreement. It's part of a larger issue. In a media environment where outrage dominates and every word is amplified, Hostin's commentary didn't just hurt. It escalated an already volatile situation. Fetterman's team views this not as a simple insult, but as a dangerous narrative that risks undermining his bipartisan work and derailing progress. His lawsuit isn't just about defending his reputation. It's a stand against the growing trend of blurring the lines between factual discourse and incendiary rhetoric.
I am not the senator for just Democrats in Pennsylvania. I'm everyone's senator in Pennsylvania. And so it's just having a conversation with the president.
Fetterman, a figure known for his unapologetic and bold nature, is someone who doesn't easily retreat in the face of opposition. He's accustomed to controversy and isn't afraid to break from his party when he believes it's in the best interest of the greater good. His independent approach stands out in today's polarized political environment, and regardless of how one feels about his positions, his commitment to unwavering honesty is undeniable. Whether he's challenging party ideologies or engaging in complex international negotiations, his guiding principle is to prioritize what's best over what's easy. Consider his role in hostage negotiations in the Middle East, where he has worked tirelessly to broker agreements, often working alongside unexpected figures like Joe Biden and Donald Trump. His efforts aren't about getting caught up in partisan bickering. They're focused on uniting fractured forces for a common cause. This mindset extends to his approach to domestic politics, where he strives to navigate the contentious waters of U.S. political discourse. This context is essential in understanding his legal action. A man with a proven ability to tackle intricate issues is unlikely to let media portrayals derail his mission. This raises a critical question. Is Fetterman's lawsuit solely about defending his reputation, or is it a broader challenge against a dangerous trend in media? Based on his past actions, it's likely the latter. Fetterman's decision to take legal action against Hostin isn't just about protecting his name. It's about advocating for honest discourse. He views Hostin's critique as part of a larger issue, media outlets pushing sensationalist narratives that blur the line between thoughtful discussion and divisive rhetoric. The irony here? While Fetterman is negotiating peace between political adversaries on the world stage, he's simultaneously fighting to preserve reasonable political dialogue at home. This stark contrast highlights how high the stakes can be, even for those navigating the most high-pressure situations. As this case unfolds, one thing is clear: it won't just be another legal dispute. Fetterman's lawsuit could set a significant precedent for holding media outlets accountable for misrepresentation. The key question remains: will this legal action prompt media outlets to reconsider their approach, or is it simply another example of the perpetual clash between politics and media that offers no true resolution? So, where do you stand? Has Fetterman drawn the necessary line in the sand? Or is this an overreaction in an era dominated by media chaos? As this case continues to develop, it forces us all to reflect on how we consume, interpret, and engage with political narratives. The questions raised by this lawsuit extend beyond pundits. They are questions for everyone. In a media landscape defined by polarization, this conflict is taking a deeply contentious turn.